In this game, we stimulate a total solar eclipse and a partial solar eclipse. At that time, it is necessary to display whether there is a total solar eclipse or a partial solar eclipse. Let's assign this text. Create a string variable here. Drag the var x equal block under variables like this. Give display instead of x. At the beginning of the display variable, a text is not stored, but we need to make this as a string variable. We know that a string variable needs to be typed in inverted commas. So here I type inverted commas like this. From the time the game started, you need to move towards the moon and the sun. That means in the western direction. So we need to give the moon a negative velocity in the x direction. I drag the sprite.velocity x code block in the sprite sections into this function draw code block like this. Here as the sprite, let's give moon 1 and velocity as -1. In this way, when the moon moves towards the sun and a part of the sun is covered by the moon, partial solar eclipse should be displayed. When the part of the sun is covered, the x position of the moon should be between 100 and 200. Do we need to think about the y position here? No. At this time, the moon is moving in a straight line towards the west, so the y position is constant. So let's look at the x position only. I click Controls and drag an if code block below the draw sprite code block. Now we need to make the condition. The position of the moon should be kept between 100 and 200. That means it should be bigger than 100 and should be smaller than 200. Both these conditions must be true. Let's click Math here and drag a code block with the and sign here. After clicking Math again, to the left of the and sign, I drag a code block with the larger than sign. Drag a sprite.x code block under sprites here and change the sprite to moon 1. Here I type 100. Again, in the same way, after clicking Math, drag a code block with the smaller than sign to the right side of the and sign. Drag the sprite.x code block under sprites here and change the sprite to moon 1. Let's give 200 here. At this time, partial solar eclipse should be displayed. To display a text, we created a string variable earlier. Now, if you change the text in the adapted variable, it is okay. Let's click Variables and drag an x equal code block here. Here, the name of the variable is changed to display and the text to be displayed is given in inverted commas as partial solar eclipse. Also, since the moon needs to move west at this speed, I drag a sprite.velocity x code block under sprites here. Let's name the sprite moon 1 and give it the velocity as -1. Now the partial eclipse is stimulated.